Hey, welcome to the Global Music Match interview series. I'm really happy today to have Siobhan Miller here, a award-winning Scottish folk singer and singer-songwriter, um, whose music is just really skillful and deep, and I'd say grown up as well. So, welcome, Siobhan. How's your day
Hey,
going?
look, good, thank you. I don't get called a grown up very often, so that's a lovely start.
Honestly, I was listening to All Is Not Forgotten today, the album you released a couple months back, right? And yeah, it's just like the instrumentation and your singing is so kind. I think it is grown up, right? Because you seem like you're a really skilled singer, and then the poetry of it all. So that's what I meant by grown up. It's like
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, none of this frothy pop stuff. So yeah, so how's things going?
Good. Yeah, it's been an interesting year as it has been for everybody. Like you say, that record is called All Is Not Forgotten, and I brought it out in April. So it was all recorded at the end of last year, and I was super excited for heading out on the road with it. It's the first record where I've kind of mixed together my love of traditional Scottish folk songs alongside my songwriting. I've always recorded those two worlds separately, but on live shows I do a mixture. And so I decided at the end of last year I was like really keen to bring those two things together, and also to kind of strip things back a bit. I wanted to make this record a lot more like the live sound that people hear at the gigs. So we were all set to go out on tour for the release and play all this music, and we played one show just before lockdown, and then the rest of the tour was very sadly cancelled. Um, so it's been really strange to have this record kind of that was all about the live performance as well as the recorded music, kind of feeling like it I didn't have that outlet. However, we've my husband plays double bass and guitar, and he produces a lot of my records. And so we were able to do a little bit of live streaming from our living room throughout lockdown. So that was our kind of nice outlet for sharing some of the new songs.
Wow, wow. That's cool that you're a team. So he's playing on All Is Not Forgotten as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, yeah, it sounds beautiful. Great, great tone. So, um, for folk who haven't heard you yet, um, what was, I guess I'm interested in your story. So you grew up in a musical household, right? What was the musical background of your home like?
Yeah, so my dad plays guitar and sings, and both my parents were very much involved in the folk scene in the 60s and 70s. My dad played in lots of bands, um, and so when I came along, I was taken to loads of concerts, folk festivals, and was brought up with this kind of, I guess, a household of music, but very much focused on folk music, particularly traditional singing. My mum absolutely loves unaccompanied traditional songs, so that's where I started. A lot of that is in the old Scots language, so we have Gaelic and we have Scots. So I started that really at a really young age, and started performing that at a young age at these festivals. You know, I'd get up and like sing a little spot to open up a concert or whatever. Um, so that was where that connection was made entirely through them. And then over the years, I started working with other musicians, and I studied Scottish music. There's a course in Glasgow, and met loads of other young people interested in the same music as me. Because growing up, it was because it was through my parents, I was surrounded by a lot of the older generation, which was amazing because I was handed down all of these beautiful traditional songs, and lots of them I've recorded. Some are on this record, this new record, and a record before that I made called Strata, which is kind of a collection of lots of my favourite folk songs. So I had this lovely grounding in folk music. I've always listened to loads of different music and different songwriters, and so I came to songwriting in my kind of early 20s, and started exploring that. And I still very much feel like I'm exploring that. I still feel like I'm kind of new to that, and have been really enjoying the challenge of that over the last kind of 10 years, and brought out a record called Mercury, which was the first one that was all kind of my own material or co-writes with other people. So there's these two worlds going on of traditional song and a self-composed material.
Wow. I've just got this really sweet image of you as a wee girl, like up on stage at a festival, and everyone's hearts melting. Like, what was it like after a gig when people would be coming up to you when you were a youngin and saying how much they loved it or whatever?
Yeah, I just had so much encouragement. There was all of these people who saw that I had a love for this thing, this passion that they also shared. And I was just so lucky that a lot of these singers wanted to actually share these songs with me. So um, there's a travelling family from the north of Scotland called the Stewart, and they would often be at these festivals, and they were, they throughout their families, through the generations, they would always pass down songs, and often they keep those songs within the families. But I always felt like really lucky because they were always really keen to, like, there was this one singer called Sheila Stewart, and she would always come and give me lots of encouragement and pointers as well, things to improve on, and songs to learn. And so it, I guess it felt like a big extended family, if I'm honest, and still does. There's still all of these singers that I can go to when I'm trying to source new material, um, which I feel really lucky to get to do. And I don't always have as much time now to go and sit and learn songs from people, but that's definitely something that throughout lockdown I've had the urge to get back to doing, because I used to do it all the time, and to take that time and to learn a song from somebody and learn all the things that they love about it is such a special thing to get to do.
What a heritage, what a tradition. That's unreal. Um, yeah, so it just sounds like it was really encouraging for you to connect to a your like your culture and your ancestors. And is that does it feel like that? Or,
Yeah, definitely. It's a whole culture of the passing down of, particularly for me, songs, but we also have tunes and stories, and it's just been, for me, that was always part of my life. So it didn't it's as I've got older, I've really realized what a kind of great position that was to be in, to be experiencing that from such a young age, and also being in like kind of big song sessions at these festivals where, like, somebody starts up a song and then just the entire room, everybody knows them and they're all joining in. That was kind of what really inspired me at the beginning to get into singing. um, and I didn't ever mean to do it as a career. That's not what I set out on that path. But I guess the older I got, the more and more I just kind of fell into playing festivals. And once I went to study and met other musicians that were my age and all interested in the same thing, then the doors kind of really started to open for going and touring in the UK, which I kind of started when I was about 18, 19, and just loved that whole scene of going out on the road and discovering all these new places and meeting lots of new musicians. It was a really exciting time. Um, all of those kind of early days, experiencing that stuff for the first time.
yeah, yeah, like the adventure and I mean, just noticing the people you collaborate with, like Chris Drever and Eddie Reader, you really seem like you are connected to like some of the best players in the scene, right?
Yeah, I've been, again, just really lucky that I've been around these people and they've been really encouraging. And um, it's been really lovely to work with Chris on this new record, doing some co-writing, and he also writes with my husband Ewan, so they put some songs together as well. Um, And I've toured with Eddie as her support for the last kind of 2 years and just had the most incredible time learning from her and watching her stagecraft, and again just being really encouraged by her. She's one of my favorite singers. She's such an inspiration, um, and all of these people have influenced me along the way, but also um, I've had a great time getting to work with them. And Eddie's just, she's so much fun. She's an absolute hoot.
Yeah, yeah. When I've met her, she just seems like, yeah, full like a character and strong and yeah. I remember seeing her on the transatlantic sessions doing Hummingbird.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Oh
yeah.
my God. So so what are you most enthusiastic about right now? Is it like the traditional song or is it the writing or
It's definitely still both. And I think, again, because of the record that I've just made, I'm really looking forward to being able to actually play some of that stuff live at some point in the future, whenever that is. Um, I think I'm really feeling excited and energized about the fact that I've found a really good place to bring those two worlds together, which before I kind of really thought they had to be separate in the recording process. But really, through the people that I work with, I felt like they've made a lot of those arrangements work side by side. Um, and the writing, that's still really exciting as well. But I think, yeah, maybe at the moment I'm spending a bit of time searching for kind of more traditional songs, and I am keen to. I've been doing a little bit of work on Zoom with some singers who have been sharing some traditional songs with me that they think that I might like. So that's kind of really exciting, because it's nice to think what I might do next, and what traditional material I might like to kind of put new arrangements to, because I really love taking the old songs and finding new settings for them. That's something that my husband and I really spend quite a lot of time, and with the band I work with regularly, we go out as a four-piece most of the time with guitar and fiddle, and he plays the double bass. Also, sometimes with keys, and they're such a great group of musicians who bring so much to the arrangements that I can't wait until we can all be in a room together and just put some new arrangements together.
nice? And how do you do that? How do you take an ancient song and then like reset it?
I tend to I'll take like a few and we'll sit down and I'll sing through it. Um, and they'll start to kind of bounce off each other, and we'll record stuff as we go. And then come away from it for a while and then listen back and think, okay, that really worked. Um, that kind of feeling or timing that worked for that, or maybe that wasn't the right thing for that song and that story. Because I very much think of the traditional songs about the storytelling of those things, and I like the arrangements to kind of tie into whatever's going on if I can. Um, but I really like to put it in their hands and let them play around with it. I try not to be too precious in those early days about just letting people really try out loads of different ideas, and then we'll start to kind of rein those in and pick the elements that I think lend themselves best to the song.
Nice, nice. So you bring this wealth of songs that you've grown up with and that you're collecting, and then you collaborate, right? You let the musicians fly a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's fun. Really fun. Um, so I'm aware we've not got much time left. If you could do a record with anyone alive or dead, who would you want to write and record with?
Oh my goodness, you put me on the spot. um, oh my. think. There'd be so many people. The thought at the moment of even just like recording music with other people is so alien to me.
Does any well, who was a few people that came to mind, or one person who came to mind?
I love the songwriting of Laura Marling,
Oh
who
yeah,
is, kind of folk, has a folk element to her music, but is not from that kind of a traditional folk world. So I guess it'd be kind of really cool to get to write with her. It's, I absolutely love her writing, so let's go with her.
nice, nice. Um, well, Siobhan, thanks a lot for um, the amazing music you're making and for being an inspiring traditional and contemporary artist. And oh, just more power to you. And I'll see you soon. And everyone who's watching,
Thanks.
in the Instagram bio for this week, I'm going to have Siobhan's website and yeah, her most recent album is All Is Not Forgotten, and it's
Thanks, Luke.
great. You're welcome, Siobhan. Go up.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.